Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League Season 6, Week 2. My name is NightFiree. I'm here with my co-caster, I think, Sleepy. Sleepy, are you there? Hello? Well, he'll be joining us eventually. He's...
Whoops.
Sleepy.
Sorry, I'm here.
There he is.
I had myself muted in Discord.
We're dead.
Hey, everybody.
Alright, well, he's back. He's here to join me. I can hear myself in your headset again. We are going to be hopping into beginners versus danglers. I don't know why the info didn't update. Should be a pretty exciting match. Beginners are one of the OC5 qualifying teams, and kind of curious to see what they can break out against danglers, who have been playing pretty well against some of these top tier squads.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one. I know danglers haven't played beginners either for a long time or possibly ever before in an actual league match, so this will be interesting to see how they play against them and how their style works against beginners' more slow and methodical styles.
I think if the information I'm being fed is correct, danglers are banning downfall, and beginners are banning beginners have decided to ban tanker, so that's out of the equation. No harm, no foul there. And downfall is also banned. Subway is not.
Well, luckily we're not looking at a best of 5 situation.
Yeah, so I'm kind of expecting we will see probably Quarantine, Cargo, and Suburbia would be my guesses. Maybe Bazaar can get factored in there as well. Probably out for Quarantine, but should be some close quarter rounds, some rather quick rounds.
Yeah, I think it's a good chance we'll see both Quarantine and Bazaar in this one. It's just two great maps with long mid-range as well as short.
Yeah, you do want to get loose and stretch before we hop into this one. It should be a pretty exciting series. I think if you can give us a second, we'll be working our way into this lobby here shortly. Curious what that first map choice will be as well.
Yeah, I am myself as well curious as to what we're going to start out on here today.
My Oculus Rift controller and hop into the game.
Lobby.
Great. I had somebody that could just do all this for me. Okay. Sorry, Sleepy, I left you for a second there. Sleepy. I had to get into the virtual realm. Uh-oh. Game just crashed.
Oh no.
Fun.
Fight.
Thanks for hanging in there with the tech difficulties. I do apologize.
Yeah, you're okay. Beginners just got their 5th guy in.
Onward has crashed.
Again?
Yep, I'm gonna restart some things, tell them to make sure they hold for me.
Yeah,
Just some fun little there and throw. Oh, it is a... Problems have been solved. Alright, round 3, 3rd time's a charm.
final round. Fight! Would that be?
Oh, what's up? What's going on, fellas?
Please don't. What are you doing? Why are you joining?
This is League Voice
Why are you
1.
bringing us here? I don't know why I'm being moved.
How the hell did I get moved into
I have
League
no
Voice 1?
idea.
Fucking weird.
Yeah. Apologies for that.
Someone think we were playing and move us into League Voice 1?
I don't know, man. Someone is not paying attention to what's going on. Okay. I think my Onward troubles are solved.
Yay!
You could go ahead and resave the names. We should be ready to hop into Quarantine, which will be our first map.
Oh, do you need me to reset them? 'Cause I already
Just
set
save it
them
again.
once.
Just click save.
Okay.
You? Yeah, go ahead and give him the go ahead. We should be hopping in shortly. Yeah, I'm hearing myself in your headset, man, in your mic,
I have no idea why. I'm trying to change my...
like a weird echo.
Gonna pop the sensitivity up and see if that does it.
Okay, now we have everything in order. I'm looking forward to this series. I think... I don't really know what to expect, I suppose. A good competitive series. Both teams are very skilled. They should be prepared for this matchup, but... I don't know. Like you said, they haven't faced off, so we don't really have much to base off of. Are we getting in early, and it is going to be that gas station objective. And that garage is going to be a hard one to cap on. I do have that north spawn, though. It is pretty quick. They can kind of come crashing in from that rooftop area. It is a pretty effective approach. You have that height advantage. These guys are going to wait here, make sure that nobody's going to spawn early and cross the street before they make any other moves. Well, Kush and Woods just kind of patiently waiting to see if they're going to catch anybody rotating out towards ambulance. I don't think anyone's really in any position to be pushing forward there. No one's going to be pushing up south. Actually, a very tucked back Danglers defense here.
Yeah, Danglers playing it safe. I think they know that their best option with a more slow and methodical team like Beginners is going to be to just kind of hold back and wait till you can bring them in closer, because right now these long-range engagements are a risk. You'd give up, you know, your defensive position if you were to fire on one with just a glance. But Beginners also looking to get some long-range picks to take down the Danglers before they get anywhere close to the objective. So both teams kind of trying to vie for that top spot on the map.
Yeah, Beginners probably going to take their time here, seemingly just sort of waiting out to see if they're going to find any picks, and I don't think they will. You're going to need to get some smokes and get up onto objective before they really run into anybody. They have maybe that one in back by those twin buildings. That's about it. Everybody else is pretty close to objective.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Executioner and Nintendo over there on the west side.
Right.
Trying to stop
Expediter.
that push. Expediter.
Yeah, next might spot someone on the roof here. He is looking over there. Also covering the west side. He's going to be the one that'll probably get first contact. Unless Expediter catches someone crossing that street he's looking at.
Yeah, Mex takes a peek down at the wrong time. Smoils, though, not really giving himself away here on the roof either. So
the smoke is coming out onto Expediter's angle, so they do know that they're over in this courtyard area. A couple more smokes to follow that up, just to make sure they can get across safely.
Wow, 5, now 6 smokes come out. There.
7.
7.
Oh, the frag, just to be safe.
Maybe another frag. Yep.
Wow, they really were clearing out that rubble area, making sure they can approach with safety. They actually have very nice tactical smokes. Shots coming out from Killinger. Yeah, Expediter's in a dangerous spot now.
Yeah, his position that was once safe is now going to be compromised quite heavily unless Riboman can get Dr. Killinger and Cushberries here on center burn.
I mean, Killinger just has to peek up over that rubble. He'll be able to find Expediter. Cushberries also may be able to spot him if he's peeking through there in that crack, but I don't think Expediter has any idea they're here. He hasn't seen this. The smoke blocked their entry point. I mean, fantastic smokes, really. That smoke at the front of that, on the other side of the nose of the plane is really smart. Expediter has finally spotted Kush, though.
And he relocates, so he's not completely exposed. Cushberry no longer going to be able to take that quick, easy pick.
Maybe with some distraction, Icy Woods could rotate around and find the flank, but he's going to have to be aware of Mex. Killinger also going to have to deal with Riboman here shortly.
Yeah, interestingly, Smoils has left his roof position and come down into roof courtyard near the large antenna. And that's not really going to provide his team much assistance at the moment. His overwatch from the roof might have been pretty helpful in this situation that we've got with Dr. Killinger, Kush and Woods here at the burning rubble.
Yeah, but to have this rubble position at 2 minutes is really nice. I mean, Riboman is so patient to be sitting inside that two-story and not moving. He's just waiting for this angle to become useful. He knows they're going to have to cross out in front of this doorway if they want to push towards objective.
Yeah, and he's watching it very closely. Oh no.
Woods is in!
Wait the wrong time. And Woods 43
wow.
takes the center burning. Wow, that was just a rough luck there in all opinion.
Just bad timing on when he looked at the... I don't know why he looked. Maybe he looked at his pad he had on the ground or something, but he just glanced away for a second. Cushberries finds Mex. That's the pick they needed for Woods to kind of open up that west side. They still need to find an Expediter over there. He's a serious threat.
Yeah, and Nintendo holding his position, I think it would be really advantageous for him, if possible, to push back and try to get Mex back up. As Mex is still resable, put it back to at least a 4v5.
Executioner is calling all this out to him too. Expediter caught some rounds from Smoils, some more rounds coming out from Rubble. Expediter has to deal with Woods and Smoils over here. He's actually holding off this approach. 49 seconds left. He finds Smoils. Woods tosses a nade over towards Expediter. A perfect rotation out. But look at this. Woods 43 is pushed up. He might find Expediter out in the rotation. He does. Now it's a 2v3. 2v4 rather.
And Nintendo picks up a couple there. Woods gonna see Nintendo if he's not careful. Oh!
No, a team kill.
Woods kills him. Oh, the Woods brothers killing each other.
Wow.
That's not going to be good for beginners here. And not going to be good for family relations. Stumpy Nub still posting up a hard defense as last man alive. Executioner just able to get call outs in the west.
10 seconds left. They have to push fast. Woods has to crash in on the backside. They have to pick Stumpy. Stumpy is crashed, tucked in. He gets picked up by Kush on the rotation. Beginners take up a nice Marsoc win.
Had he just stayed where he was, I think Stumpy Nub would have been able to wait out that beginner's rush and take down, I think that was Woods there coming up from around him on the backside. Tough luck for Danglers starting out, but pretty decent attack round there from beginners. Knight, what do you think?
Was a nice approach. They effective. I don't know. Looking for that slow pick early. Very characteristic of beginners. They are a slow-paced team. Making it down to the last second too. Also very characteristic of beginners. It takes about the whole round for them to get up there. So
yeah,
not terribly surprised by that, by what we saw, but some nice picks. I mean, I'm not sure if you could deny that. I think you could deny some angles a little bit better. I think they had too much room to maneuver on that west side, and just giving them basically all the burning building did not end up working out for them with that defensive strategy.
Yeah, no, it didn't. Once Ribo's position was compromised, that was a huge dent. It got them close enough without being exposed and right on top of the objective. But I think Danglers were expecting that kind of a push. I mean, I think that's why they were set back so much, as they expected them to move slow. They expected them to take a while. But yeah, things just didn't go their way. Nintendo able to pick up 2 there and kind of save
yeah,
the
they got very lucky. I think they was in a 4v2 situation, so they definitely started to run that back. But either way, beginners making good work of their man advantage, and not going to have mirrored spawns. Actually be a much slower, if you can believe it, round than the last one, depending on how Danglers approach this. They have the farthest spawn you can get on this objective.
Danglers going to utilize that space and give themselves a bit more. They're going to push north. Beginners, though, taking almost a very similar defensive strategy as Danglers did in the last round. You know, 2 to the west, 1 center, 1 near the hidey hole.
Woods is in a very different position than they had anyone over here. He can get to plane wing. He has a bit of an eyesight over on that north rooftop, actually, and he can kind of be a threat to that attempted push. So he may rotate there. He knows they're not south as well, so that kind of nulls out a potential spawn point. And while Nintendo, they just have a little bit more information to deal with. We'll see if they should be expecting basically a north push now, since they know it's not a south spawn.
Yeah, that's good. Yep. The only other spot I think would be effective or not show in the south would probably be the east spawn here, over there by Marsoc 1 building. And by now, somebody would have seen some movement at this point, unless Dangler stayed hidden. So yeah, I'm pretty confident the beginners now know that it's a north spawn. However, they're all, a majority of them still looking east, so maybe they don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Danglers are going to stack 3 down that west lane. They are going to run into those guys holding that west side. Smoil's actually in a bit of a different spot than Mech's, a little bit less of a meta spot. I feel like those stairs are pretty common for defensive positions. We started to see some teams start to opt for different angles to hold this west approach. Smoil's here. We've seen Globochem down the street. Some other guys looking up over the wall. There's all sorts of different ways people are trying to look at this approach instead of the characteristic 2-story. 3 minutes 45 left, and Danglers have sort of rotated their way into this north side comfortably. Expediter, the most forward pushing, and he will not run into anybody in a very similar fashion to the way that Danglers were defending. He's not going to run into anybody until he gets close to objective. There's your smoke. That's going to try to allow them to cross. I don't think either of those are going to be good, though. They still should have a clear line of sight down this street. Yeah, those smokes are too close to that cockpit, and they're just not where they need them. I think actually Killinger threw out an offensive smoke. Finds Nintendo as he tries to get out an aggressive. Rivalman does manage to get across. Shots don't land. Oh, an ambulance rotation, though, from Woods. Catches out Stumpy. And now Ribo's going to have to deal with Killinger, who knows he's here at Rubble. A nice nade. It's going to be an airburst. A little too far. Doesn't know his own strength.
Yeah, this is not looking good. 2 picks already for beginners, leaving Danglers 2 men down. Riboman, they know where he is, so he's going to have to pick off his nearby defenders before he can move freely again. Smoils picks up Executioner there on the west, and this Dangler's push is falling apart right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, that uncharacteristic wall defensive spot pays off. It catches someone trying to rotate around west. The final one left alive is at Rubble, and he's going to have to deal with Expediter, who's looking for Ribo here.
And Ribo is peeking away, not looking again, just at the wrong moment, just that timing just a little bit off. As Killinger peeks, Ribo turns away. As Ribo peeks, Killinger looks away. It's just a cat and mouse game here, but a frag comes out. Nice frag from Riboman down in Killinger. He's got to go and finish it off, though.
Yeah, they do have ambulance down. Finishes off Killinger.
Can he pick up Woods here in the south, though? That will help him out tremendously.
I think Cushberry's location is pretty uncharacteristic as well. I don't know if Ribo's really going to be expecting someone in that wall corner, but that peak will be pretty visible if it happens. He finds Woods in the long distance shot. Really nicely done.
I don't think Cush is going to push. And Smoils, I think, is going to stay where he is, back off the Woods, the only one really putting eyes directly on it.
I mean, he has 45 seconds left. He's going to have to move. This cross is going to be punishing, and he does get picked up by Cush. A nice attempt from Danglers. They almost ran it back, but beginners hang on and go up 2-0.
Yeah, Danglers definitely going to have to put in work on this next defensive round. They are going to have to get their point back here and hopefully interrupt the beginners' momentum. Otherwise, we could be seeing beginners walk away with this one.
That's true. They have been playing pretty well. I would definitely expect them to go for a cap here. But it is also, I think, worth mentioning that kind of want to save good strats for OC5 to break this sort of stuff out in a casted match. You know, teams are going to be looking at this and observing what sort of strategies they're going to be bringing to the table. So maybe we'll just see some more diligent slow play from beginners, try and get nice and patiently up towards objective. I don't know. I'd like to see a fast spawn forcing them into a fast move.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if beginners can change up their tempo if given the opportunity with a quicker spawn, or maybe just a defense or a spawn that the defense isn't able to call out as quickly. They're able to get some push, gain some ground really fast. I just don't think that's what we're going to see out of beginners.
Yeah, we will find out shortly. Let's take a look at what objective we're going to be dealing with here and our scores. Woods and Cush stealing most of the beginners' damage. Nintendo and Ribo also up there, but a bunch of goose eggs coming out of Danglers there. Expediter, Stumpy, and Executioner are just not pulling their weight. What you really need is your full team to be performing on all cylinders if you want to win those rounds, especially on Marsoc. We're going to be going into it. It is going to be Like a burning building objective, and this one's really easily cappable. You can get right on the other side of this wall here, punch in the code, and get yourself 2 points. So I'm expecting smokes in an attempted cap push here. They do not have the quickest of spawns or the easiest of spawns to approach from. That spawn that beginners have sort of forces you to cross one of the streets and expose yourself. They're really lucky that nobody was looking that angle, though. What you normally do is you'll set up one guy to watch that cross right away. Look for a super early pick characteristic of Globochem from out of pants or something like that. And then go from there. They opted to send instead 3 far north, maybe 1 up towards hotel. And then another one inside that 2-story. It's a nice spread. See how it works out for them. They definitely need to take this north area, and they know that they have a couple of defenders to deal with. One on that hill and another one tucked in. Executioner, and he actually gets found out by Woods on the cross. A really nice shot from him. That trade should not have gone that way. Mex with the hill advantage there. Maybe he was shooting into his sand, not turning his gun properly or something, but he does get picked off, and that's going to be really detrimental to the north defense. Stumpy now is going to have to deal with this. He's going to come up over the hill. Very risky moves here. Expediter does see one push over. He doesn't see these other guys out in the middle of this north approach here. He could find one. Does get one by the dumpster. Looks for 2. He needs his friends. They need Expediter down here. Stumpy is up top. He should spot these. He should hear these. The shots from Killinger. A nade's going to come out in airburst right on top of Killinger. Shots towards Expediter. This nade catches 1. Quick res from Kush should be an answer back. 2 down and resable. They need to get back and get these reses up. Really surprised Woods hasn't been picked up yet. Maybe it's because he's so exposed. They need to handle this north defense first before they can get him. Like an answer back nade. Not quite far enough. Stumpy rotated back onto the rooftop there.
He's gonna knock on the door, but nobody's gonna be home. Oh, but Stumpy now here's the push. He sees Kush, takes some shots. Gonna prevent Kushberries from getting on Dr. Killinger's body and getting that res. That's kind of crucial. But now he's gonna back away.
Yeah, he had some supporting suppressive fire from that 2-story back there. Kind of pushed off Stumpy from the rooftop. It really does leave Expediter in a position where he can get completely pinched, though, if they decide to come up around him.
Expediter's gonna push up the hill. Seems like a kind of a Dangler withdrawal here from the north. They're gonna pull their coverage back a bit.
I think they're gonna rotate around and get that Woods res, make themselves a whole squad of 5 again. Maybe try and reevaluate and re-push this north side again. They have 3 minutes left, so they have some time, and the objective is right there once they get this north rooftop, so let's see what they can do. They're actually getting kind of aggressive here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky move now that we're, you know, over 3.5 minutes into the map to go in and push out deep into what you know is at least a 3+ man defense or offense. You're kind of pushing out solo. You don't really have anyone by you to back you up on the refrag. It's just a bit risky, especially when you're standing there in a spot that really has no cover on the east side. You're just kind of standing there out in the open.
Yeah, he is fairly exposed. Stumpy does find Woods, though, back there on the crevasse by white car. He might be able to find another one. Killinger
looking for the refrag. Stumpy's a little bit too anxious here. Killinger might went out on it. Oh, and a trade.
I traded in north.
Now Expediter needs to rotate and get to Stumpy and get that res.
Really
like
risky rotation, though.
It
He's
is
lucky
now,
no one's pushed up.
Yeah, I see Woods actually. If he would have stayed on that hill crest, he might have had an opportunity to see even just a fraction of Expediter. But yeah, it's he's gonna miss it, and Expediter is gonna make the rotation and get Stumpy back up. That's good for them. It's now 4v3 in Dangler's favor.
That was almost a really good nade. Kush have just tossed it a little bit farther to the left. He might have found himself with 2 there. He's actually pushing up to green car. If he keeps pushing hard on the ravine, he might be able to find one in the back. He doesn't.
Yeah, they just rotate out just in time, but I think Stumpy might be kind of wary that somebody was near them because he's sticking around there in the building, in the space between the 2 buildings.
You should hear Kush running down here. 50
Yeah,
seconds left. Kush has to move too. He doesn't have time to dawdle.
Yeah, Ginner's gonna have to make a hard push here. Stumpy peeks out and catches Kush. Nice pick by him. Nintendo takes Woods with a nade on the objective.
That was a really fantastic nade. Wow. He just barely got it over that wall, airbursted him right in the head. Final shots go off onto the crossing over of Smoils, and Danglers pick themselves up around. They're on the board.
Well, that's a good thing because they were quickly on their way to being skunked on that map, which would not have been good having to fight back 2 maps in a row from a 4-0 down. So it's a good thing to see them being able to put up some points here on beginners.
Looking good. We'll see how Danglers approach this objective, though. I mean, that Volk advantage obviously playing into effect, although this is one... I think the approach here on this objective is not to go west. You definitely want to kind of come up the middle. Utilize more smokes, cause a little bit more chaos. If you can get into that rubble area, you can capture this objective.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of teams actually execute this objective really well from the east and even from the north. Just the eastern side of the map. I mean, it has more cover, I think, for you to bound to, and the west is so short you can't withdraw further west. It only is such a short portion of the map there to the west.
Right, and even when you look at the objective, the west coverage of facing the objective is so minimal. There's pretty much nothing there but that burning building. You're super exposed, so to come into from the objective on this west side is so hard.
Ooh, and Dangler's gonna get a pretty preferred spawn for this objective. Something that allows them to...
They can do that, yeah, they can push the way we were talking about earlier. Cushberries gets caught out trying to rotate the ambulance early. That's one of the major risks of that spot. Exactly why a lot of people don't do that maneuver early, because you can get picked. They do know that it is a north spawn, though, and you can kind of see them rotating around accordingly. Stumpy almost getting picked off. Expediter's going to toss up the following smokes. A good frag comes out. It might catch 3. No way! It catches 4.
Oh my goodness. Spacing is going to be a topic of discussion on the Danglers. Oh no. What a fantastic freaking grenade, though. Wow.
This should be all 4 getting picked up, though.
It better be. Man, that was such a risk right there. Another nade's coming out. Is it going to find 5?
Ooh.
Man.
Wow.
Danglers are in a tricky spot now. Stumpy gets picked off.
The problem is, too, here they have no more reses available, essentially. Everybody is in trouble if they get hit. Everybody is dead if they get down. 2 have been dropped just like that. Was a refrag, though? There was an answer back on that wall, I think? Maybe a nade.
Yeah, it does appear there was.
This is really risky where Max and Rybo are right now. If they just get pushed out a little bit from someone on the west side, they could be caught. And there it is. Smoils does find Rybo.
Yeah, as you said that last bit, Smoils was walking up on the left side, on the west side, and I'm like, uh-oh, this guy's about to cause some trouble for the Danglers, and sure enough, there's the pick.
Woods still looking for some action. If Mex decides to peek out that crossing way, he's very lucky Woods wasn't looking. It is a 2v3, though. Danglers can still pull this off. They just need to find Smoils out in that courtyard. It's all up to Expediter to make that pick. He's actually going to take some time. He has 3:30 left. He's maybe going to rotate around west and look for someone behind. Going to leave Mex sitting here for a solid minute or 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could start his slow move, though. If he wanted to prone his way up to cockpit, he has full
authority to do
Yeah,
so, pretty much.
he's clear on that. Smoils isn't going to peek that right now.
Yeah, and Killinger won't hear it, especially if he prones it over. Smoils watching that west, though, so I think Expediter's push here is going to be for naught. It looks like Smoils is kind of figured out or had the idea that they're pushing the west. Yeah, he's looking right there from that L-shaped wall there by Hidey Hole in the west. He's looking straight towards the plane body over here in the west.
A really good angle on that west approach. As long as he doesn't look away at the wrong time, he is going to have this kill on Expediter. Or at least he's going to engage in a trade.
Expediter's coming in now. Smoils sees him first, as expected, and he takes him down. There's a nice spot there by Smoils.
Nexus started his slow maneuver.
Did he just pick up a different gun?
He has two guns. Picked up one of his dead teammates. Not sure why. Maybe he thinks he can swap faster than switching out a mag. Killinger does spot him crossing the tankier courtyard. Doesn't land the shots.
Yeah, it was a risky cross, though. Super exposed you ran on the front side of that wall to the back side of this wall. Killinger definitely able to see him on the crosshair, but it was risky. You know, he's by himself, so risky's what you got to do. What I'm thinking here, though, is that Danglers can be a fast capper. If for some reason Executioner can pull off a pick here, Smoils might not get the rotation in time, but as I say that, Smoils rotates over and completely screws. It's like he's listening to me. But yeah, Smoils is definitely a possibility, but now Mex is just going to have to do this John Rambo style. He's going to have to kill all three opponents, essentially, because they're all on top of the objective with 1:16 on the clock.
Have to find that top story first. Woods is looking right at him. He does get the cross, and he's so lucky nobody takes him out. All three know right where he is, though. This is going to be tough. Doesn't land any shots on Killinger. He needed those. He tries to rotate around behind the red car. Gets picked off by Woods. Beginners go up 3-1.
Ooh, Beginners putting up a great game here, both on defense and offense. They're just well coordinated, and it's showing, it's working, that it's against the Danglers.
Yeah.
But that grenade NightFiree in that last round.
Man, oh man, it really kind of shuts you down, slows down the entire approach. They had their smokes out already, so they were getting ready to start that move at like 4 minutes. Kind of overwhelm that defense and try and surprise them, but to get fragged right there, it shuts it down entirely, and then you have to get all the reses off, and once those are out, everyone's one shot. So it's tough to deal with, and unfortunate. Well, a really nice nade, really. That was a fantastic nade.
Yeah, that's a situation where spacing will come into play, and having all four there and not having really any spacing in between them is exactly what allowed that grenade to be a 4-banger.
Nice thing is, Danglers are going to be going into an objective that I think is probably one of the easier ones to defend, so they can get themselves up 2-3. Of course, they're going to also then have to attack it, but...
Ah, yes. Marsoc won. You know, I don't think the Danglers are too bothered by this objective. I mean, but it is a difficult one from a playing standpoint to cap on.
It's hard to get to, but once you're there are actually a lot of potential capping opportunities for it. You can cap behind some corners, around some angles, and sort of get your cover. So if they can manage their way over there, it's anybody's ball game, but those defensive smokes are going to come out. I don't know if they're enough.
Nah, here comes some more. Somebody got to bounce off the pole there. That was no good.
Quite a few. I think that's enough to cover Rival Man's cross.
Yeah, it should be. And, Beginners are going to put 3 men south coming through the center.
You want to take this? You want to be up there or you want me to?
You have 2 inside objective building, 1 south in that 3-story. 1 hotel and 1 cement truck. Pretty standard defense coming out of Danglers. It'll be interesting to see how Beginners decide to approach this. They're kind of going for a pretty spread out defense. Suppressive shots coming out just in Max's direction. Nothing too serious. A little pre-fire, I think.
Yeah.
Something I've been seeing coming out actually a little bit more from teams. Maybe it's just the casual way of playing a league match, but not really necessarily rolling as a squad, staying spread. You know, maybe you have 2 together at some time, but ultimately, like, you send 5 out across the map to just do their thing. Try and find individual picks, try and make individual pushes, get close to objective around the same time. It's something you can do with a really skilled team just because you all know how each other plays and how you move.
Mm-hmm.
Actually abandoning that spread a little bit and starting to stack the south approach.
Yeah. I think they've seen that the southeast is not as well covered because they are giving them basically that full south approach until Rybo can get an angle from the 5-story, which is only near dunes, and Icy Woods is about to probably crawl right by him. Rybo man not even watching out to the southeast there.
I think what they did there is they sent up 3 to north to make sure that they could deal with any potential north push for defense to get up that north rooftop area. And then they rotated those guys back south. So that actually was a pretty planned push, I think, what we're seeing so far. I think that's what they did. They wanted it because what you'll see sometimes from squads is they just charge north rooftop. Because if you can get north rooftop to defend, you're in very good position. I guess with that objective spawn, I don't think you can get there. However, so I'm not sure on that, but the only really reason I can see why you'd rotate out.
Smoyle's taking a few shots from Expediter. He drops down, so Danglers now know they've got one in the north on the rooftop. And it was a good play, actually, by beginners. They put their LMG gunner, they put Smoyles up on the roof, gives them good coverage, down on the objective and suppressive ability. And then once they had that, they could take his backup man away, let him operate on his own, and then put a 4-man assault here in the south. It's a good idea, actually, in theory. Let's see how well the execution comes out here. No real action still at 240.
I think Kush is going to be the one that's going to find it first. Actually, Rybo Man catches Woods on that rotation south. Now Icy Woods is going to be the one to try and deal with him. He is staying down and hunkered down, though, and now they actually know there's a couple south here. You actually see the arrows all point over in this direction.
Icy Woods trained on Rybo's position. Rybo's head popping up. It looks like Kush has also got eyes on him now.
Actually gonna prone this. Going prone out exposed like this doesn't really do you any good. You might as well be sprinting. Actually does find Stumpy a really nice corner shot. He can get another there if he keeps peeking out at Cement Truck.
Oh, that grenade. It's not going to be close enough, but getting it out of there and getting that much distance on it from that spot is pretty impressive. Oh, Rybo Man finding Killinger.
Well, Woods just getting a little lax. I think maybe his prone positioning playing against him because he just can't quite see Rybo peeking. Nope.
Oh, and Rybo finds Icy Woods there on the sneak. Expediter picking up Smoyles to the north. It's now 1v4.
Danglers with a nice strong hold on this objective. Looking good for them so far. Kush is going to have to get rid of Rybo if he wants to do anything.
Pretty effective smoke there, at least from the objective side. Don't know if it's going to deny Rybo that much visibility there in the stairs.
But that is the kind of smokes that I've been trying to, that I've been talking about lately. You smoke on a spot. You smoke at where a person is defending instead of where you want to cross.
Yeah, and with these new smokes, which personally I am loving compared to the old, it's much more easier to do that because I feel like the plume is stronger for a bigger area than before. Oh, Expediter on the flank. It's Fishberry's gonna see him, but Expediter gonna pick up that defensive win, and Danglers will take that map or that round.
Nice hold from there. I thought for a second there Expediter might be able to pick up Kush and he could regroup, but doesn't quite get across. Yeah, Danglers are hanging in there. 3-2. We'll see if they can pull anything out on this objective. They defended very well, so See if they have an attacking plan also.
Yeah, and I mean, Danglers just about always go for the cap. So if they can get it, they could actually win this map here. But I don't think beginners are just going to let them waltz in and surprise attack them. I think beginners have done their homework here. I think they know who their opponent is, and their defenses have worked out well for them so far here on Q1.
Here we go into, I think this is the round 6.
Yes, round 6. There's no cap, and it's 3-2, round 6, sir. Three little Danglers all in a row. Got a 3-2 split from Danglers. Meanwhile, beginners not sending anyone across the South Street, but they are smoking it, so it looks like we're going to get a couple going over now.
Some good smokes too. They almost caught them crossing south, so they are aware that a couple of Danglers members are crossing south. Those shots out from Icy Woods and Hotel. Not quite landing on anybody, but...
Yeah, I'm guessing he saw Nintendo push into the center burning building there at some point. Just pressuring now, keeping him pinned down, keeping him from moving forward.
Kind of point out the differences in defensive strategy here. Beginners putting one up in that little shacked area there, also sending one far south to catch out anybody rotating early. They have a very weak sort of north approach, which is what Danglers may be able to take advantage of. Come up the middle and send some north, and you have some good attempted approaches here. If you can just avoid that south defense entirely, might be the right move.
Yeah, and that spot that I see, or Woods 43 is in right now, is the spot that I was saying that I think beginners were going to utilize to their advantage in the last round as they attacked from the south. Woods has got good coverage on that entire south lane, whereas in the previous round, Rybo didn't have much coverage until over here by the large rock in the Humvee in the southeast. So beginners definitely putting a lot more defense into the south, and I think the south is probably the weaker spot to attack from in this map, or on this objective.
I think it is kind of interesting, though. I feel like the spot in that two-story is a little bit more advantageous for Volk. Woods on this hill is very visible, black on tan, and doesn't have a ton of defense. So if you're just looking at the hill, you can sort of spot his head peek out, versus when you're in this stairwell, you're dealing with darker shadows. I think that's kind of what led to Rybo's success here. So we'll see if this strategy pays off, if they send anybody south even. They kind of did the same thing too. They sent a couple north and then they sent them back south. I think it's just because north is so hard to approach from. You have guys like Woods watching this big open area, looking out the hotel, and this, I mean, to shoot Woods in the hotel is insanely difficult.
Are the Danglers beginning to slow things down?
I don't know. I think we've had a bit of a slow series in general. I think every round's been going pretty late.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is to be expected from the beginners.
Right.
They're pretty well known for being utilizing their map time.
I'd argue
completely.
Danglers did well in Leicester because of their fast play, though. So I'm surprised to really not see much fast play here on this map.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they're on the back foot just a little bit, being down 3-2 this late in the rounds. Beginners only needing to take this defensive round to win the map. Danglers only needing to cap this objective to win the map. I mean, it's... First map is kind of all on the line in this one round, so... Stumpy Nub definitely seeing Woods 34 there in the south, forced him to make a rotation, but Stumpy knows that they had one far south, so that's information for the team. He's going to keep his eyes on those hills as he pushes up. Rybo on the support there for Stumpy. He's now pushed up to the center-south buildings, looking over the small dunes, but I don't think he's quite going to look where Woods 43 is.
Expediter's about to get punished by Smoils here. I don't think he's going to be ready for anybody inside that little area. He is sort of keeping his eyes over there, but this is exactly the angle Smoils is waiting for right here.
Oh, that's an angle I haven't even considered, to be honest with you.
I think, unless Smoils is just listening for audio in that corner, maybe this nade will cause him to peek.
Oh yeah, this nade's gonna alert him, I think.
Yep.
Yep, there he is. It's a good call there. Rybo Man not, able to pick up Smoils.
It was Nintendo who shot him on the back end. A really nice shot from him. Does secure Rybo. Woods 43 also trying to deal with this south approach. Some good smokes out towards that objective area are going to allow them to push up on it.
Berries, though, covering the south, picking up Stumpy Nub. Woods 43 in a more fortified position, and Rybo gets picked from IC Woods. Nintendo left being the only Dangler left standing. The defensive coverage is really good here. Their strategy worked well. Woods 43 did a great job of rotating back into that southeast 5-story to cover what was dropped when Smoils was taken down.
Yeah, it is like you were saying though, it is a hard objective to approach here. Woods 43 should be spotting him. Surprised he hasn't taken the shots yet. You have to deal with Cushberries in the corner, then find Killinger, and he has a chance. Cush does catch him though as he tries to cross, and beginners take the first map.
A well-played first map by beginners. Whose map pick was that? Was that beginner's map pick or was that Dangler's map pick?
Ooh, I don't know. I think it was beginners. I'm not certain though.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. Kind of recap if you are just stopping by the picked bans. We do have Tanker being banned by beginners and Danglers banning Downfall. So that means our second map will be Bazaar. Very good. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Bazaar should be an exciting map to see how it shakes out. I think this is going to kind of force... You can't play Bazaar slow, but it's definitely going to force these teams to pick up the pace a little bit. Quarantine, you can kind of really opt for some slower routes, some long rotations. Don't necessarily have that liberty with Bazaar, although you can rotate around the entirety of the map. It's just a smaller map in general, so those rotations end up being faster. See how it all shakes out, though. Dangler's going to be going on the offensive first, so this is a Dangler's map pick, and I do agree they are very skilled on Bazaar. Not surprised that they decided to opt in for this map.
Oh yeah, and I think they kind of expected, I think beginners have played this map quite a bit as well, so I have a feeling Danglers were kind of anticipating that they would somehow get it as long as they ban Downfall. Beginners do have a really strong Downfall play. But it is going to be a great objective to start on. Should be nice and action-packed here on the South Cross objective near the Humvee. Always usually gives us some exciting real.
Fast-paced action. Everyone... Excuse me, everyone is ready. We are going to be jumping on in. Season 6, Week 2, Onward Master League, Danglers versus Beginners, Map 2, Round 1. What other information do you need? What's the other stuff that people constantly ask in chat that I can convey?
What game is this if we're watching on Facebook?
I do have this East spawn though. Kind of see if they decide to dump smokes on this lane and push fast. If I remember
Yeah,
correctly,
looks like they're picking the west first. Yeah, what's up?
if I remember correctly, this is, I was just going to say, it's exactly what Danglers do. They smoke forward, not back by tank, and then they actually push up early. Because they kind of opt for a fast push. You can decide to get up there by that ice cream truck and cross over into that blue L. They have really good coverage here to just crash up this street, and it's exactly what they do. They just completely shut down anybody defending the east, or the south, rather.
And they almost look like roaches as they push forward, just bing, bang, boom, boom, bang, boom,
Yeah.
boom. They're hitting everything really quick. They're covering each other. They've got a nice kind of grouping without being too close here.
I mean, these smokes are great. Smoils is completely denied vision of these guys pushing up here, and that's the whole idea. Nice frag? No, another smoke to be right in front of Smoils.
Was a frag, and it picks up Expediter. Rivalman picks up Smoils, though, on objective. Cushberry's ready for Stumpy Nub to come up. Rivalman gets Killinger as well. The objective building is open. If they can take Cushberry's out right here. Oh, and Ribo goes for the push.
Does Kush know he's at this corner? Rival comes up, he finds
Ribo gets
Kush.
the pick. Wow, great push there. Icy Wood's able to get the refrag on Ribo, though. Executioner, if he's able to get... Oh!
Wow, he has a smoke available. He's going to toss it that side, gets a reload off. He's going to have to peek up around here and find Woods. Woods is going to be rotating around panically, looking for the defense. The nade comes out. It doesn't quite land towards Mex. Bounces off, unfortunately, onto that awning.
Max needs to go and get Expediter up. Expediter's in his smoke. He can have a teammate here. They can pinch Woods. Oh, we get lucky. Oh, man, Dangler's getting lucky there.
Yeah.
That the streak goes in their favor. If Expediter was alive, that would have been a guaranteed win for Danglers instead of a risk. But, man, good trade there at the end. Great first round, too.
Yeah, a nice Marstock W from Danglers kind of gets them a nice... I mean, this is what I was expecting more out of Quarantine. A bit of a faster-paced Danglers. They tend to do well with this sort of quick play, and it does pay off for them. They grab themselves a Marstock round. I'm really curious to see what beginners do here. They could get a fast spawn west. They could get a spawn east like that. And you can... I mean, it's interesting to sort of think of east also as a fast spawn as well, because west, characteristically, you can throw some smokes and be right up on top of the team. You can do the same thing east side, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's why this is one of my personal favorite objectives in this game, I'd say, because west versus east, it's both quick, or they both can be quick, but they also have a lot of room, auxiliary lanes and whatnot to push around down to the south and even wrap around and totally encompass your enemy no matter which spawn you get. So I love how balanced this objective is, both north versus south as well as east versus west.
Here we go into round... oops, that's not the right graphic. That's the one we want. Round 2, match 2. The first one went to beginners. Danglers trying to answer back now. They are going to go on the defensive. Beginners do have that fast west spawn. We'll see how they decide to use it. I don't think there's going to be any early smokes or crossings, though.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, NightFiree.
I think the fastest thing you'll see is Woods approach here as he goes up onto this stairwell looking for some many picks maybe into that spawn building. Does shoot over towards, I think, Stumpy, but no shots landing.
Did you shoot at someone?
Information, though, for the Danglers. They now know which primary direction the spawn came from.
Yeah.
Granted, that was quite a bit of time, so it could have been someone rushing from east to west and then putting down some fire, but they're going to have the knowledge to know now if they see somebody in the east that it's a widespread offense.
Shots coming out, just maybe suppressive fire.
Yeah, I think that was Cushberry suppressing the ice cream truck blue hallway near where Ribo's positioned.
Kind of interesting to look at this defense. I wonder if this would be possible if it was an east spawn. Expediter's positioning here up to manage to crossing the street. We'll be able to deny sort of anybody that's going to try and cross and push out towards objective.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think a position like Expediters is going to be nearly as possible with an east spawn, seeing as where the defenders spawn and how far that rush would be. I mean, it would be tight.
Oh,
Oil's ready for it.
he was so ready for it. He rounded that gun up blazing. And he actually has cover from Nintendo, who's trying to get the angle. The tank's in his way.
Ooh, Icy Woods getting a pick on Executioner in the west. The Danglers defense is just crumbling it right now.
Yeah, that is 2 very important picks for them. It's basically going to open up the pinch, right? They can sort of, well, not quite. They still have Nintendo over there on the east, but kind of move in from the west and east now. Nintendo has to rotate back towards objective, so yeah, east is going to lose its defense.
Oh, not entirely. It looks like Nintendo's rotate back is going to focus a little bit more towards the east still. It's a nice rotation as he slowly but surely works his way back as friendlies are picked.
Yeah, it's going to tuck inside there. Beginners can pinch onto the Danglers here if they want to, but they're taking their time, very characteristic. Remember is still not even, almost still back on that north street.
Smoyles being very patient in his position. The way he took down Expediter there, it almost makes you wonder if they've just researched the team, or if Expediter was making some sort of unnecessary noise that Smoyles picked up on.
I'm not sure. Otherwise, this beginner's map to lose, I think. Good callouts do identify, I believe, Stumpy over there.
On the pallets?
Peeks out, tries to find Woods through the wood, can't get the shots. And there's more of those on-point smokes. Rivalman finds Killinger in the blue L.
I see Woods going to try and take over position, but Woods 43 now alerted to Nintendo's position.
He's looking. This smoke could be devastating if he gets it in the right spot. Oh, almost gets picked up by Rybo. Peeks up, finds Rybo.
Oh,
looks for Woods.
Nintendo.
Yeah, he almost had him on that cross. It's a good smoke. It denied Nintendo vision, and Nintendo had to rotate out, and he almost caught him. Meanwhile, Woods is pushing up. He's crashed in with the smoke. He's getting up into that 2-story. Might be coming down onto Stumpy's head here.
Nintendo picks up Woods 43. I see Woods still upstairs above Stumpy. I don't think he knows where Stumpy is, though. He might have just heard that tablet drop. He drops down. Oh, he checks his tablet. Stumpy catches it.
Very unfortunate for Woods. The blue L push from Smoyles is going to come out. He may be able to catch one in the rotation.
Nintendo's going to have to stay inside this building because Cushberries has eyes right on the exit.
I mean, he is really pinched right now. He's going to have some trouble here. Stumpy with rotation could get caught. The shots from Smoyles missed. Nintendo tries to answer back. His shots missed.
One objective, one in the red room across objective.
Nope.
Oh, Nintendo getting a crucial pick on Smoyles in that blue room. Now it's up to Cushberries. Has to push in on this 2-man Dangler defense. Stumpy and Nintendo definitely communicating pretty well with each other. You can hear that back and forth going on. A lot of info coming out as much as they have.
Stumpy doesn't get caught by Cush, and he finds him on the outside. Danglers salvage what looked like a very unwinnable round and managed to go up 2-0.
Wow, that was an impressive climb back for Danglers. As you said, that was beginner's round to lose. But I think Danglers just got really lucky on some of those crucial picks that happened to bring the numbers back down.
I think maybe you also saw a little greed coming in from beginners. Maybe they're trying to go for that cap instead, although they had all guns drawn. I think that pad coming out at a crucial point near objective.
Yeah, that Icy Woods, when he checked his tablet to check on his teammates or check on the code, Stumpy heard it, knew he had a pad in his hand, and just rushed him.
Danglers answering back after that quarantine loss. They want to grab themselves this map and make it all come down to that final one. The final.
And it looks like this time we're gonna have another more balanced east-west spawn, the Kayat building. This one should prove to be pretty eventful for both teams as well.
Take a quick gander at the KDs here. Rivalman performing very well. Nintendo also doing nicely. Killinger not quite stepping up to the plate. Maybe if he gets up there, gets a few kills, kind of rally beginners back into this series.
Yeah, same could be said for Expediter on the Danglers. He's also in that 0-2 bracket with Dr. Killinger. Stuff luck, but you know, like you say, and I completely agree with. KD is arbitrary in this game. It doesn't make a difference as long as you're getting your objective done. That's what really matters, right?
Indubitably. We're heading to Kayat. Our next objective, it is going to be a bit of a quick spawn, actually. You can crash across the street and be right up in the face of the enemy very fast.
Yeah. Yep. And then you can rain fireworks into the bazaar.
I don't think those smokes are quite what they need. They're going to need about 3 or 4 more.
And they're all just going over.
Wow.
That's a nice frag, though.
That's in a very common spot. Woods finds one trying to peek out. A very eager push. Rybo Man doesn't have any smokes here to do this. Rybo gets picked up by Smoils in the center of Bazaar. That's a...
Executioner gets picked off by Dr. Killinger, and this Danglers offense is falling apart just as fast as it's taken across the street.
Stumpy's going to try and make something happen with this shield here. And it's going to be tough. He's going to be going up against quite a few members of beginners looking out over in that area of Bazaar.
And NightFiree, you're going to love it, but Stumpy has a taser again.
Oh, I do enjoy that. Getting spicy with their 2-0 lead. Maybe a little overconfidence coming into play. That taser, not really an optimal pick, and we saw actually a round lost to the taser choice.
Yes, yeah, it was. It was a tough one to watch, and now Rybo gets picked by Woods 43. Ah, man, this beginner's defense is just well-rounded against this attack.
Yeah, well, they were nicely positioned early to catch out that aggressive push from Danglers, and they just getting those early picks makes this attempted push so hard, especially since one of your last remaining members is the guy with the shield and the taser.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, it's useful if it works, but other than that, it's as useless as you can become.
Yeah, I think Danglers playing on map strategy now. They've got their Marsoc win out of the way after starting with a defensive win, holding that map defensive advantage. So as long as they can keep their objectives locked down, I think they're thinking this Marsoc round could be a bit of a play. Killinger is already calling specifically Stumpy with the shield. Stumpy with the shield.
I think Killinger tried to snap shoot that, and he tasered his
crucial picks.
Shield.
Oh, you think that's what happened?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, those new shield mechanics definitely not playing for the flick shot favor anymore.
Oh,
it's a whole new set of muscle memories now, but I think we saw Nintendo or Raphael yesterday doing quite nice with that still.
He was still flick shooting too.
Frag's gonna come out on Stumpy. Ooh, he smartly uses the shield.
Nintendo's going to have the toughest time here. He needs Stumpy to get up into that courtyard and cause some chaos while he moves up.
Oh, Stumpy's now went back and picked up a weapon off of one of his teammates. He is not taser. He is taserless now.
Nintendo's looking for Wood. Sees the leg. He catches it.
Wow, nice play there. Nintendo getting some crucial picks. I think he's gotten 3 in this round. I think all 3 of those are actually Nintendo's.
He gets overconfident, though, and pushes out. He's going to be caught by Cushberries. Cush sees Stumpy with the shield, catches him on the side.
Nintendo hears it, though, so he's going to be looking. It's going to be an old Western shootout, and Cushberries is the winner of the shootout. Great defense from beginners there.
Yeah, that was very strong. They almost lost it. Nice attempted comeback from Danglers, but beginners are on the board now on Bazaar, making it a bit of a match.
Round 4, fight. Good old shoutcasting on a Sunday, huh, NightFiree?
Yep, I was gonna do I think 3 games today, but I backed off because we got OC5 coming up. I'm trying to save that voice. Make sure it's in pristine condition.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really looking forward to. And beginners, I mean, they're proven that they are the OC5 contenders. Danglers did compete at Leicester very well. They put SMC Tactical kind of through the ringer. They gave them a run for their money. They beat G-Men pretty handily, and see them competing against beginners just kind of solidifies their status as a team that's up there in the kind of top tier of teams.
The top tier of teams?
Yeah, I mean, even if they're not winning, they still are putting off a good show here.
Yeah, no, it was just more commentary on your alliteration. Top tier teams. Here we go. Will Danglers be able to hold this objective against the methodical beginners who proved that methodicalism made up word? Question mark.
We getting, did we get just like the same spawns, or we were just over at?
No, yeah, same spawns here. So beginners gonna have the same spawn Danglers had on the last round.
Okay, I'm confused. Yeah, I thought it was. Never mind. You're right. I thought we had done that objective once already, but
no, just on one side. We haven't had it repeat.
Nintendo getting very aggressive. Also, Executioner, and they know they're over here at this tanker spawn, and Woods has gotten himself an early pick. Nintendo is going to be looking for anyone that's going to try and cross, but he might be too late to this position. They've already gotten some over into that east side.
Yeah, and technically, Cushberries has basically made it as well. But from the games that I've seen of beginners, they know how to play this east side and how to get in breach on that blue hallway that Nintendo's sitting in. So we'll see how long he's missed Kush now. Kush now made it all the way across to the east. But Nintendo should hear Dr. Killinger there speaking by the scaffolds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they don't have anyone northeast now either, so Nintendo's really the only guy covering east. They've stacked up some guys into that small courtyard. I'm not surprised those members of the defense haven't rotated out yet. You'd think after hearing gunshots over by Tanker, you know where they're spawning. Kind of shift your attention a little bit.
Yeah, I think Danglers maybe just taking the fact that beginners that like to play kind of a more map spread.
Sure.
So they're still waiting on someone to pop up in the west and not come up from behind them on that west flank. So it's smart, but I think they're playing it a little too overthought.
Nintendo almost found Cushberries there, but just missed each other. Killinger still hasn't come inside. He's really causing Nintendo some concern. Oh, Nintendo will get caught on this peak here. He might find Kush though. The shots come out, they don't land.
Yeah, one's in the northeast.
And now they know where Nintendo is. If Woods has a frag, he could be cooking and
see where he decides to throw that. I think actually if he had decided to throw it around the other way, it would have worked either way. Woods
Two of them at scaffolding, one northeast.
does find Nintendo. The callouts are there, so they know they're northeast, and more shots confirming there's some in that blue L. Still no rotation on the three remaining from Danglers. Actually one almost getting caught out on that long lane by Stumpy.
Yep, Stumpy able to spot one, making some callouts there. The defense needs to get a little bit closer on the objective now. I think they're a little bit too far spread. They're giving the beginners too much of that eastern half of the bazaar to make their push up when this objective being so difficult to defend if you're not watching it carefully.
One pick here would be really nice, though, if they can just sort of get that deficit a little bit tighter. 4-3 isn't too bad to deal with. 5-3 is tough, especially if they have their utility available. Woods here pushing up, may get caught out by Expediter.
Expediter's not looking. Oh, he sees Woods at the last moment and gets a pick. Nice pickup from Expediter, bringing them numbers down a little bit, giving that advantage a little bit more of a chance.
Uh-oh, Expediter does get picked up by Kush, though. Now it's a 2v4. And this is where it gets tricky. The smokes aren't effective, though, and it is up to Stumpy and Rival to hold.
More frags out from IC Woods and Cushberries. Some pre-fire on the central bazaar, I believe, right near the fountain. Guess they're shooting for anticipated positions like that.
They have 2.5 minutes left as well, so they have some time. Just kind of maybe looking for safety pre-fire spots before they move up.
Very surprised that the beginners are doing basically a frontal assault on the building. They're not really like completely encompassing it. None of them have actually like rotated up to the north side behind the building. to come in, because I feel like right here that would be an effective rotation, an effective strategy to utilize, knowing you've got only 2 defenders left.
I was gonna say I think they might be listening to you too, because I think Kush and Killinger may start to rotate north.
Oh yeah, and here he goes. He's pushing out that northern alley on Eastern Courtyard.
I mean, if you're right, if they can take that, they can really cause some defensive struggles for these last 2 guys. They can come in from the back and the front, really make it tough to defend. Suppressive fire can also be poured into the objective area, making it hard to rotate. See what happens.
Killinger's push up to basically the backside of the building. Smoke coming out, pretty much on Stumpy's position.
Rybo drops down, is exposed to Smoils, almost gets picked off. He may be able to find Smoils out in the courtyard. He does from that 2-story, but Killinger goes.
Gets Stumpy.
Rybo has to get down there. Nope, the gun comes out.
Nope. Ooh. And Danglers give up their map defensive advantage on that play.
Yeah, beginners said, here's 2. That's all you'll get, and they start to shut him down. Danglers are going to need to answer back with a Marsoc round of their own here, and we are going to get another respawn of an objective over by the south side. So they did very well on this objective last time offensively. We'll see if they get the right spawn, if they can do it again.
Yeah, or hopefully they get the other spawn so we don't see them pick up on an immediate strategy.
That is true, but that would require beginners to adapt to that and be ready for that.
True, and that would be hard to do on the fly in game.
Right.
But I do have to say there's been a lot more repeated objectives within maps than there used to be.
Yeah, I don't think it really needs to be a thing that happens. I think there's plenty of objectives, every map to be having unique objective spawns. But yeah, it's an interesting thing that's been occurring.
However, I do like this objective, both to watch, both to participate in. It's a good one.
Very true. Doesn't really lend to slow play.
No, it doesn't, because slow play can get you killed, and then you don't have those numbers to crash in on it when you need it.
Let's just dive on in. Round 5, match 2. Oh, thanks for adding that sound. That was actually a perfectly timed sound effect.
Really?
Yeah, we should clip that. Clip it, send it, put it in the books.
Put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
We'll see if this west spawn. Yeah, they know it's quick, and look at these smokes. Danglers really not afraid to drop their strategies because they're not competing for OC5, so they're busting out everything. And I love to see that they have a strat for west and a strat for east, because those smokes are exactly what we're talking about. Point smokes. They're right on top of that objective, but maybe just not quite good enough. I don't know if that was lucky fire from Woods. Oh, 2-story. Wow, a really nice spot from Woods to rotate up there. He gets over the smokes, just barely.
Yeah, and that's just put a real damper on the Danglers' attack here. They've already taken out 2 key members.
Wow, really good rotation from Woods there. Really savvy play.
Nintendo's about to be caught out in the street as his smokes die.
Oh, Stumpy also getting picked up. Woods 43 really doing work here.
And Nintendo can't see him. Killinger picks him up. Wow.
Beginners have turned it on this round. Actually, quite well. I thought maybe there could be a run back there from Expediter, but not quite.
Yeah, and a nice defensive win, a quick defensive win at that for beginners. Woods 43, was it?
Yep.
Just damaging the Danglers offense right out of the gate. Man, that was tough to watch as a Danglers player.
Yeah, I bet. That was a really nice move and rotation from him to be able to get above those smokes. I think if maybe they had just tossed one a little bit further, it would have denied vision there, but there's all sorts of windows you can actually peek out to look at that lane from the two-story.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the Danglers were ready for Woods 43's key position in that play. I think they had great smokes going, but his position just elevated him above the smoke enough to be able to see down that west side. And I think that's where we would see the long-range screening of smoke would have been more effective. If they were going to push that far down that western street to come in, they needed to be closer to the smoke. Otherwise, Woods 43 had a peg from his elevated position.
I mean, that spot in general is so good, too, because you have the cover of that big no commission sign. You can go prone behind it and be basically completely invisible and just hold an angle.
Yeah, Nintendo couldn't even see him. He was well hidden behind the sign there, for sure.
And we are on to what could be map point and what could be series point if they decide to take this round.
Yeah,
We keep ending up with a score pattern here. Quarantine 1 was a 3-2 round.
Danglers can easily tie this up, though. They have that Volk advantage.
That is true, but they did give it away by not winning their last defensive round. So if beginners are able to win their next defense. Quick shots coming out from, I think, Rybo.
Yeah, if you peek out over that L, you can kind of grab some guys out in that center. I actually saw him dropping his mag on that table, put in a fresh one, and then grabbed it up and put it back on his chest. Popping out mags, make sure he's fully loaded.
I got him
with a really tight shot on Executioner who was defending over by that window, and I mean, that is an insanely tight shot. That's through 3 buildings.
Yeah, we need to see whoever that is over in the east on Danglers Nintendo. We need to see him start to rotate back from his eastern position. He's way off the objective. He's already got one man down fairly close on objective. He's really got to rotate back, fill in that gap.
Yeah, they're just not sending anybody over there. But they are spread, so maybe one will eventually rotate around. It could be Cushberries.
Nope, looks like he's gonna head west with the rest of his guys.
I mean, that pickup right there is pretty huge that Killinger got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now you don't have any kill room coverage, you basically kind of open up that street for potential crossing if your one guy that's watching it isn't watching it. And frankly, Stumpy doesn't have good line of sight on that lane, on that street, and I think he's the guy that's going to be seeing anything. Maybe Ryboman in the back too. But that's a slice of an angle. Kind of survey the battlefield here. Just getting that the slow moves from beginners. Methodical, looking for that 1 or 2 pick at a time, and then they kind of crash in once they have it.
Nintendo's position still worries me. Smoke's coming out heavily from the west now. It looks like we might be seeing the start of a beginner's push. Stumpy throws a smoke out of his own. A little confusing there. Woods 43 able to make a push. Rybo sees Dr. Killinger hit the blue room on the far west side. He's unable to make the connection.
Stumpy had to have heard that rotation though.
Oh, for sure, yeah. You can see him repositioning. He's looking up. He definitely heard the reposition, but I think he needs to stay a little closer. Now Woods 43 pushing over. He's looking out the window. Is he going to see Stumpy there? No, it's going to be a frag. Stumpy hears the pin, though, runs back inside.
Woods almost gets caught by Expediter.
Depending on the Woods we're talking about, Expediter might get caught by Woods.
Yeah, he might. I see Woods. Should be looking over there. Woods 43 also shooting at him. He's stuck in between two trees here as he gets pummeled.
He's in a Woods sandwich.
He's really in the forest. He needs to lumberjack his way out.
Are the Woods going to engage each other now? Are we going to see some fratricide here?
I don't know. What do you call tree-on-tree murder?
Tree-on-tree murder.
I'm sure there's a good punchline we could mix our way into there.
Oh, goodness. Beginners now almost completely surrounded the objective. Nintendo has still failed to rotate back. Nintendo, what are you doing, buddy?
Wow. Woods finds Expediter now, and Dangler's defense is crumbling.
Smokes. Another one picks up Smoils at Ice Cream Truck.
That's a huge pick. Smoils was going to be the real threat there to objective if he got Stumpy.
Yeah, but the Woods brothers are just south of Stumpy. They could find him on an erratic rotation and catch him out. It's going to leave the objective wide open. Did Stumpy just catch Woods? No. Nintendo does, and Nintendo's finally in the game. He's woken up and returned to defend his objective.
Took him long enough.
It did, but now I'm hearing superhero music as I pan over to Nintendo. Woods 43 takes out Stumpy on the objective. Stumpy's down, but not out. Can Ribo Man pick up the refrag?
Killinger's an objective man. Ribo has to find Killinger. Kush gets picked up. Now it's all up to Nintendo, who has to crash on objective. Killinger has his gun out. All they need to actually find is the pick, and Woods and Nintendo trade. Beginners take the series. They take the map. They go up 4-2.
Oh, wow.
And an unfortunate turn of events. It looked like they might have been able to salvage that approach from Beginners, but the OC5 qualifying champions prove they're just a little bit more determined and grab themselves their second map in the series. See what our final map is going to be. It's probably going to be a fast one. I'm going to say Cargo?
Suburbia. I'm going to say Suburbia. Cargo was banned, I thought. Or
No,
it was
Tanker. Oh, the Burbs.
Yeah.
On to the Burbs we go. We should have some fast-paced, high-octane, quick kill, fast grenades, death-defying maneuvers on Suburbia.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot more action a lot quicker. At least from one side. I mean,
you're gonna. We're selling Sunday. We're selling tickets to the Suburbia match, and you're not gonna need all of it. You just need. We're selling seats, and you're only gonna need the edge.
It sounded like a Rick and Morty commercial. Sunday. Beginners versus Danglers.
In a match that you wanted to see for the turn of the century match. The Spike voice. I need to get lower for that. The turn of the century match.
Tickets cost $25 and cover the whole seat, but you're only
there you go. That's what I'm looking for.
And a fun first objective here on the map. Looks like we're gonna have the garage.
Indubitably good, sir, we are. Tough one to attack, easy one to defend. Kind of sit back, sit pretty, and wait for them to get up in there and kind of get your picks, but it does require you to be patient. Some early frags can catch you out. See what they decide to do with their defensive approach. I'm expecting fast rounds, though. Kind of tends to be the result. Granted, we do always like to point out that the rounds do matter. Winning maps matters. It affects your MMR, so nobody's going to want to roll over on any map, even if you've lost the series.
Yeah, that's right. And luckily for Danglers, you know, it was 4-2 on both maps. It was not a blowout. It wasn't a 5-0. It wasn't a 4-0. It wasn't a 4-1. So they at least were able to pick up, you know, 4 between those two maps. Going to keep the score a little bit closer. But let's hope they don't give up too many points or even take this map pretty quickly from beginners to try and even that actual score number out. Danglers waiting on a guy. Looks like Stumpy Nub not in the lobby just yet.
Taking their sweet time, huh?
Yes, they are. Not sure what's going on.
I've just been doing some CSGO roof surfing. Bring it back to the scoreboard for some audio, for some sweet, sweet music, though.
No, I think we've got Stumpy back now. Yep, we do. Everyone's readied up at Expediter. I'm guessing they're gonna try and use their time. I don't know. Guys need to get it rolling though.
Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching, do appreciate you stopping by. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you are not already. Sub kind of helps out, goes towards the league, contributes to the casting and creation of it all. So we do appreciate.
Preach. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a member of Amazon Prime, you actually get one free sub on a channel per month. So you can always utilize that as well. If you don't have the fundage to drop towards a sub, you could always do one for free with Twitch Prime and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, your mom's got Amazon Prime if you don't, so just go get it from her.
Oh man, chat going a little crazy over Nintendo's non-rotation. And then he comes through, and I swear when he picked up those picks on that rotation in the south on Bazaar there, I heard superhero music behind him. Like
Isn't that Rocky?
yeah, it is what it is. Some people would consider Rocky a superhero.
I'll stay with Nintendo.
Alright.
Like Adrian!
I'm not gonna do Adrian impressions. As Stumpy gets super aggressive, Killinger finds him through the shrubs.
Oh, and that's gonna be tough. It's a 4v5 already. Danglers on the back foot here on the first objective at the garage. Expediter are gonna have to be able to hold this eastern approach, because if these two guys in the east are able to cross the road and get it behind, there's a good chance for a cap there.
Now, I would just love to see beginners actually sort of change their rate of play and just be a little bit faster.
Right, and just be completely explosive out the gate. That would be intriguing to see that.
They've won the series, but I think what we're gonna see is just how you can take the smallest map in this game and make it slow.
Beginners doing a pretty excellent job of taking the western side of the map here, putting down some good suppressive fire on key angles.
Yeah, they're looking for anybody that's sitting behind any wood or shrubs, sort of pumping rounds around, hoping they catch anybody out that's defending. Nintendo has himself tucked behind the house, though, so he's safe. And pretty much everybody is safe. Expediter really the only one susceptible to a nade or an airburst.
Yeah, and Expediter, hopefully he's watching that Humvee. If he is, he's going to be able to pick up Icy Woods here.
Yep.
Oh, Expediter picks up Icy Woods. Sinkus knows Expediter's there now. Killinger's also rotating around to pick up Sinkus' 6. Frag's gonna come out here from Sinkus as Expediter pushes away. Smart move, but Sinkus' frag not going nearly as far as he wanted it to, I don't think.
Yeah, they're really dumping rounds out over towards there. Now he's susceptible from that 2-story position.
Yeah, Rivalman's seen him.
Jones are trying to answer back. He's actually shooting at Expediter on the corner through the shrubs. He's going to toss a nade towards the corner. It could be effective if he gets it far enough. Nope. Just a touch short. Expediter gets really lucky and he backs himself back into that building. Sinkas, if he goes prone, could be a threat, but he has to deal with that 2-story first.
What I'm finding interesting also is elsewhere on the map, Woods 43 and Smoils both just kind of holding tight. They're waiting for that engagement to kind of finish before they get into an engagement of their own, because they know they could be hurting if they were to get picked, and they could cover for their teammate that's engaged in a firefight on the west.
Spine burning, can you frag it?
Expediter gets spotted out by Sinkas. A really nice prone position. Headshot for him. He's down instantly. Danglers are in a bit of a deficit, 4-3. 3-3.
Oh, Nintendo gets a nice pick from through the garage on Woods 43's body. Smoils, not even realizing his teammate dropped right next to him. But I think he heard the shots. He's going to try and engage Nintendo, but he's not going to have that angle.
I mean, they just weren't expecting Nintendo there. They put so much pre-fire and so many rounds over there. To think that someone has an angle on you there is the last thing that's crossing your mind. Uh-oh, a nice nade comes out from the 2-story mechs. Causes the rotation. Yeah, now Sinkas and Rival Man are going to have to duke it out. I'm surprised Sinkas still hasn't picked off Rival. He's known he's been there the whole time.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm worried about it now, not so much, because Rival took down the lane 1, pushed with Smoils. But before, the entire defense was kind of focused on the west. Nobody was looking east. I thought Sinkas was going to get across the street, kind of get around in behind, but Sinkas just biding his time. I guess he feels like he's in a good enough position for the time frame that they have. I think it's still, on this map, a minute 43 can sometimes not be enough to go 15 feet.
I mean, it is for most teams, but not for beginners.
Some smokes out now.
Trying to deny Executioner vision so they can cross over, and not going to be of any use if you can't. You got nobody to cross over. Rival Man finds Sinkas. Killings are now going to try and deal with Mex with a nade up the top. Mex tries to fake the death sound.
Ribo's aware of Killinger's position up there. Mex and Killinger trade.
Wow.
Mex gets the shot, and the Danglers take the round. Good start for Danglers for this map.
Yes, indeed.
Signs. And let's see what Danglers can do with that same objective, because that is one of the tougher ones on this map to attack.
Yeah, for sure. It really requires a lot of coordinated smokes.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And a couple of picks to help as well. If you can get the numbers down and maintain your own, that's really key on taking an objective like this, or even one of the northern objectives that are more exposed once you get out on top of the dish.
Yeah, and despite, I mean, the scores 4-2, 4-2 both maps, I feel like the series in itself has been very competitive. You know, I think 4-2 is maybe, I don't know, not a terrible spread, but just doesn't feel indicative of the kind of quality rounds we've seen today. Maybe that's because we've had a lot of close wins. A lot of rounds that have been tight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing about this game that I've always liked, or I guess maybe disliked, I don't know. But yeah, you can have some of the closest matches and the score just be busted open on one side, at least from the numbers perspective. But in fact, having watched the game, been like, oh wow, that was a lot more of a of a grind than it appears in the scoreboard, you know?
And here we go, round 2, match 3. The series decided already. Beginners have won it, but playing out the Suburbia round to determine that MMR win-loss ratio. We see a shield from Stumpy.
This win-loss will actually give the Danglers an MMR rating, I believe, for this season. I think it's 3 to tango if you go about it like that. Ooh, Nintendo's spotting Woods 43 out in that upper left window. Calls it out, but he doesn't get the shots in. Woods now alerted to his position, but I think he's just going to play it safe. He sneaks under the window and positions himself.
Some good smokes denying Smoyle's vision.
Ooh, Woods 43 finding Expediter.
Tried to cross over by that ATC, and Woods was holding that angle. Stumpy gets some shots from Killinger, and he might get picked up by Mex as he rotates around this left side. He does get spotted, but Mex gets the kill.
And Smoyles downs himself with a frag. Gets picked up by his teammate IC Woods. Stumpy Nub, again, rocking the taser.
More smokes coming out. I'd love to see a taser into this 2-story.
I would too, but I think it's going to be very unlikely. Got both 2 beginners members sitting up on the top floor there, waiting for something. IC Woods getting the pick on Executioner elsewhere. It's not good. Danglers now on a 3-man with 2 of them being in the center house here, and it is not going to be easy for them to clear. Nintendo, meanwhile, maintaining back a little bit, not allowing the beginners to kind of wrap around in the western side and get in behind the Danglers' offensive push.
I'm not sure what the value of having a taser on this map would really be.
I think it's more novelty than anything. I really wish the taser it wasn't a one-shot. If it's gonna it replaces your pistol, correct?
Yeah, but a pistol doesn't one-shot people.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, a pistol has more than
He got it!
Shot.
He got the tase, he picks up a pistol, he has to deal with Woods.
Yeah, Riboman's down just below him. I think he's gonna push down to save his teammate. Then utilize the advantage there. Oh, he's coming, they're taking shots. Ribo gets picked up right away after the revive.
The tase is, he tased him.
One more upstairs.
He went, his character model on my screen on the spectator view went crazy, so I didn't actually get to watch it.
Maybe he takes it because it actually is a one-shot kill. So you just have to flick and hit him. Not because he's trying to hack. Because it's actually the most viable weapon with the shield. No, I think it is, man. It's probably the most viable weapon with the shield because you can one-shot people.
Nintendo downs IC Woods, Stumpy Nub, and Woods 43 are in a tango. And Woods, Nintendo. Oh, I'm scared.
Behind the center house.
Woods now with the shield defending, and this is a heck of a way to do it. Props it up against some dead corpses.
Spoils manages to get back and pick up IC Woods. This is not good for Nintendo. He was at a 1v2, now he's looking at a 1v3. He sees Woods 43 push over. Woods 43 is going to know he's there now. Oh, Woods 43 comes to peek. Nintendo's run away, and Woods is looking at nothing. 2 minutes 10 on the clock. Got plenty of time, but definitely want to start making some progression. Maybe coming up west. Beginners still seeming to be mostly, or be coming up the east. Beginners still looking more towards lane 1. Oop.
Yeah, we're going to be minute 38 out. Nintendo's going to have to do something magical because he really needs Woods if he wants to cross that street. You have to get that guy. Maybe he's going to try and nade? Smoke it out? Not sure. Good smoke. Oh my gosh.
Smoils, great shot there, Nintendo. Really nice nade there from him, taking out the defender that took himself out with a nade earlier on in this round. So had Smoils not done that earlier, he would have actually been able to be rezzed there by Icy Woods.
You're absolutely right.
43 now getting a little bit more aggressive. I think he's like trying to go and clean out. No, he's going to be trying to rotate back across the street. If he's not careful, he's going to get right by Nintendo. Nintendo's not going to see the cross due to the smoke. It's an interesting position Woods is taking over there, just near the barricade with the shield.
35 seconds left.
I think Nintendo will see the shield here, maybe.
He's still worried about that two-story.
Nice.
Oh, there's the shield right in front of him. He looked at it for a second. Maybe he was confused, wondering why it was there. Pays off, though, and Woods goes ahead. Gets that defensive point.
Wow. That worked out well for him. He got to drop that shield up against that bush and didn't have to focus on flicking, just staying behind it and poking the weapon out the side. It's a smart play there for a fallback defense from Woods 43. That's a detriment to the shield. Get taken out with it, especially earlier on. The other team is going to pick that shield up if they're smart and utilize it for their own defensive positions.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I think there was potential for him to hack. Obviously, he wasn't too concerned about that. But I just wanted to see it happen since that was the first time anyone's been tased in a league match.
Yeah, and you captured it.
Sure did. Live, on camera.
On camera for all these wonderful people out there. Again, thanks for everyone who's stopped by today. We've been seeing a pretty good matchup here between Danglers and Beginners. Beginners able to pull it out so far on the first two maps. They have clinched the series here already, but we're at a 1-1 on Suburbia, so looking good here. It's been a great set of matches. Nice boxing match, if you will, here. Beginners definitely showing why they are one of the qualifying teams for OC5. And Danglers showing that, hey, they're no slouches either, so.
Yeah, they really have been putting on a good performance. Kind of reminder, I think we also have another game going on in Master League 2, if I'm not mistaken. Getting cast by a Lonely Viper. A lot of Onward today. I think we also have some more games, a couple of series getting cast later today.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide.
You want to join in on any of those? Yeah, Buxton is solo casting a few. Should have some, yeah, should have some good Onward this afternoon as well. We're just, I mean, showering people with Onward, really.
Shower you with our love.
I'll give you lots of clicks if they're right behind me.
Little free fire there coming out. Doesn't quite land on Stumpy, and actually a really aggressive bulk defensive position for Stumpy here. Really risky. Rybo also pushing up, catches one out in the rotation. More shots fired, and Nade comes out, might catch two. Only finds one. The Killinger gets tucked in. More free fire coming into Rybo. Doesn't land. Wood gets rezzed. Killinger gets picked up, or gets a pickup rather. I think Stumpy's still the real threat here. Sees one crossing, doesn't land. They now know he's here. Another one's coming in hot with him. Smoils, he pops up, gets that tag. Another crossing, he finds two. That's a double, and he gets refragged.
I got -2. I'm down.
Stumpy only down though. If Nintendo can get up to him, he's got a res going. It's 4v2. If not,
Woods is on objective.
Wow, and they have no idea. Oh no,
Oh, a nade caught Nex.
But Executioner able to pick up stop the cap. Expediter getting Executioner up. Dr. Killinger's all by himself against 4 danglers. Oh my goodness, but that cap attempt from IC Woods was amazing. He got right up in there, right up under their noses. Executioner, I think, just barely seeing him through the smoke and able to rush in and crash down on him.
Yeah, I think Danglers kind of backed off their forward defensive push after that almost happened. Granted, now is when the time they should push the most, but...
Yeah, that's for sure. But a great, wow, really quick action-packed round and a fast round for beginners. Look at it, 4 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock, and there's a beginner still alive, and there's already been one cap attempt made by them.
Well, I'll tell you why it was fast, because it was forced upon them. These quick defensive positions from Danglers, I mean, they had to get past Rybo and those guys that were sitting over there in the middle of that lane, so maybe forced by the strategy forcing strategy. I'm not sure, but you're right. That was uncharacteristically quick out of them. So I'm just kind of feeling out this building, looking on both sides. Going to try and find Stumpy here. Pre-fire would deal with Stumpy right now.
It would. Pre-firing that spot would have been a smart idea. I think if this were an American team, we would have seen somebody pre-firing that as they approached it. Then again, Killinger is on his own, so pre-firing right there may have gotten Stumpy, but it also would have given away his position, and he's tucked prone. So I think he's trying to go more for a covert insertion here into the Danglers defense, maybe sneak up on somebody.
Nintendo should see him.
No, I think between the fence and the barricade, he will see him shortly though, and yeah. Killinger will see him as well. Killinger sees Nintendo first and takes him down. Stumpy's gonna hear it and start pushing his way back over on the north side behind the houses. He now knows where Killinger is and is coming from.
What he's doing here now is he's rotating out after that one pick. Switching up positions so he doesn't get spotted easily, but he's doing it slowly so he has some potential to get picked up right here. Minute 50 left and we'll see what he's up to here. Another rotation. He's already done this once.
Hopefully he realizes that it doesn't need to be such a deep rotation, but he's going to do it anyways. He's going to eat up time on his own valuable clock. It's going to be tough to approach from this side as well, considering Mex's position on that front porch. I mean, an Expediter being right on top of the car, he's got really no option over here unless he gets Expediter first and just manages to somehow get Executioner off that porch.
Killinger is going to peek this corner. Expediter just looking away at the wrong time.
I think Killinger is going to actually be able to pick up Expediter here. Killinger's going to see it. Executioner's been alerted. He sees Expediter's gone. He needs to be paying attention here. Killinger in a dangerous position. Stumpy Nub, though, could come in, though, on a hard push from that northern lane. Executioner, will he see him? No, he looks away at the wrong time. Killinger's able to pick up Executioner.
He's on objective.
This is not good. Stumpy Nub got to get in there.
He has no nades.
It's over.
Nope. Killinger with the fantastic run back. A 4v1 And he pulls it off. Beginners take the lead 2-1.
Wow, great push there from Killinger, and a nice little flip and flop there at the end from him as well. He just throws that tablet back, pulls out his weapon, and takes down Stumpy for the clutch. Wow, Beginners got to be happy with him on that one.
Dang. Whew. Really nice comeback. Those long, I was questioning that long rotation, but goodness gracious, he got so fortunate too. The prone kill, then he saw Mex's gun sticking out. Mex looks away at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's what I think did it. I mean, Mex just completely just turned around, looked back towards the east, and right as Killinger was moving up, and just barely got that sight on him.
Wow.
And I apologize to the viewership out there if I become a little too one-sided in my reactions. I'm trying to keep this as professional and as
I've been watching your team getting
objective as possible, but
yeah, watching that loss is tough, and having that loss happen to you is even harder. So see how they answer back with the Marsoc round of their own. Beginners though can ride some momentum. They got it right now.
they do. Beginners still discussing a little bit about their enemy. Spoils warning Killinger about the Danglers and their love of frag grenades. But you know, he's not wrong. You do like to blow things up from time to time.
Zinkos kind of has an interesting position here, tucked in between these shrubs. He's looking for maybe some feet or hearing. Oh, looking through a crack right there up between the fences. He might be able to spot Mex if he just pops up. He can get that tag.
Oh, but Mex is gonna hear him, I think. Nice play there from Mex. Good pickup in that unusual position, and that's gonna help him out because, man, you were right. That was an interesting position. Smalls is down. Nintendo's frag on the objective.
Perfect.
We got smokes out heavy in the east. We could be seeing a Danglers push here.
Yeah, those smokes are denying the trees their view. The forest has no sight.
Out aggressive off the porch. Nintendo's gonna pick him up, but he does get Stumpy first. They're crashing in on the objective now. Oh, Nintendo, please double tap him. Oh, we're going in for the cap. Nintendo's going for the cap.
Woods is gonna see him. He does manage to pick him off. Rivalman can get the frag and come in and get the cap himself. Doesn't find it and sits at the Humvee. Executioner also down. It's all up to that final member, Rivalman.
Oh my goodness. And Woods is gonna cross over and Rivalman gets Woods.
1v1.
Oh man.
Possible res, he has 4 minutes and 20 seconds, all the
Yeah.
time in the world to rotate back around here. And I think
Yeah,
they're
that's
actually
a smart
both gonna go
play.
for the res,
Yeah.
which could lead to some shots fired.
Yeah, both members of both teams that are alive going for their res, being very cautious. I see Woods taking some shots for some assurance. Mex is calling out their position as Riboman picks him up. Mex is gonna move out for the kill. He's not gonna get it. Woods is gonna pick up Smoils. It's now gonna be a 2v2 again. When Beginners return fire, Riboman repositioning though. I think he's gonna try and go back and pick up the angle that he was on before. He does, and he picks up Icy Woods on the rotation. Smoils going for the peak. Oh, he gets Riboman. I guess he shoots him in his feet. Oh, and Mexican picks up Smoils in the end there. Danglers pick up their second Marsoc round. Nice job.
Very fast-paced round there, moving up quickly, lots of frags, lots of smokes. Quite the maneuvers. into round 5.
Yes. No caps, though a couple of nice attempts have been made on both sides there. Oh, and we're going back to the garage.
Yeah.
Danglers playing up aggressive. Stumpy Nub gonna be finding at least one if he's not careful. Killinger may hear him. But no, it's Smoils, I think. Yep, on the far east or far west. He's gonna see Stumpy's position from all the way across to be able to neutralize it. Not a good round start here for Danglers.
I just saw Sinkos doing some air humps for a second.
Alright, here we go. We are back to a more beginner's standard style gameplay. Slow and methodical through and through. Got the early pick, but now we've seen no action in the next following minute. Danglers, though, giving up a bit too much real estate, I'd say, in this push, letting those offensive beginners just come a little too deep into their territory. Executioner going to be able to get completely engulfed if his teammates aren't there to back him up from across the street.
Couple of they do want him there, though. You know, kind of sitting in that two-story to watch the cross. But a couple of smokes could deny him some vision. I don't know. They need a few more picks before they really start to make their move, and these guys are just putting me to bed with their slow play here on the fastest map.
Speaking of bed, I almost didn't make this cast as NightFiree. Luckily enough, he had sent me some DMs to remind me that this cast was at noon, not at 4 o'clock, like my sleepy self had thought.
Sleepy, you get sleepy sometimes, you know?
I do. I mean, it doesn't help that we squad up and play some Battle Royale for too long last night.
There's the smokes. Not enough, but it will be, I think, enough to deny view on the woods.
Yeah, it's going to let them clear this house out, and Executioner's position is going to be taken advantage of. He does get it down on Dr. Killinger, but it's not going to be enough. There will be a res, and they've lost their crucial middle defender. It's going to be able to watch these crosses, so now it's all up to the limited visuals of the 3 men on objective, and the 2 men upstairs are going to have a real trouble. Maybe not Riboman, but Expediter have a real trouble getting to the objective in time if Nintendo goes down.
Now that they're in this second floor, they have some... I was going to say they have a good potential to allow their flanker in, but he gets picked off. Well, Nintendo finds Woods, the refrag from Killinger. All sorts of trades across this street here.
Riboman picks up Smoils, lane 1. It's just a trade. It's just trade Tobersfest in here.
Everyone just launching rounds across these houses. Sinkos going to try and work his way up onto objective, and frankly, their defensive positioning could be the downfall. They can just slither by. It's going to require some luck and some good fortune to do that, but they can manage to get behind objective without anyone noticing. They've got the cap.
That's true, and they do still have Dr. Clutchinger still alive. A little late on the shots coming out from Expediter on Killinger's position. He has hit the deck as prescribed. by Dr. NightFiree here.
No, I think Sinkas got ID'd.
Yeah, it does appear that way. Expediter watching that corner pretty closely now. Smoke coming out though from Sinkas. No frag. Dillinger taking some shots at Expediter, allowing his teammate to move, but Expediter moves down and picks up Sinkas anyways.
They almost traded. Sinkas almost had him, but he just couldn't quite land those shots.
Now it's all down to Dr. Clutchinger again. Will he be able to get the picks and make his moves? No, Ribo's going to shoot him in his face and end the round. Danglers pick up another one. It's now 3-2.
They want this map, man. They don't want to go down losing 3. And if they can frankly capture this map, losing 10-8 to beginners would be acceptable. That's not too much of a hit to your MMR.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's a good thing. I'm glad to see them at least take one map. I know it's really rough.
They're not out of the woods yet.
It's true. It's very true. There's the win or lose here, right here on this one. This could be map point for Danglers.
Oh, boy, this has been an exciting series. Nice and tight, just like this the whole way through.
It has. It's been a bit of a long series, but it's been a good one.
Yeah.
What time does your next cast actually start?
I'm not doing any more today.
Oh, you're not? So the one that you and Buxton were going to do, the SMC Globo, is
saving that voice, man.
Alright. I pick up that one.
Could start to feel a little wear and tear after those last, I don't know, just this weekend, so I'm just not going to cast too much.
Gotcha. Here we go. Round 5.
Nicely timed. Little shield play coming out from Stumpy.
Yeah, it looks to be that way. And he's got a smoke in his hand right now, so I can't tell if he's going to go Taser Man on us.
Bendo almost finds some bullets in his face, but gets lucky and ducks down, dodging them.
Interesting defense layout this time from beginners. Kind of like a L shape, maybe a little bit. I mean, they've got a lot of guys right on the center house, but they're almost in a straight line, just how they're fixated on the map, even if their elevations and positions might actually be different.
Some smoke's coming out, but Danglers seeming to take up a page from beginners and are playing it slow themselves. Not sure what the proper approach is here. I think you're going to need a frag or two to catch someone out. One's coming out over towards Smoils. No, it goes to the back. That's kind of land over near him. A couple more nades. Maybe those are some frags. None of them landing. But that's the idea. Try and catch a nade out there. Man, those are some long-range tosses. Being shot with the shield. Taser out, looking for that one-hit kill. Woods trying to catch someone out at APC, but no one's there yet.
You have smoke? Smoke front.
Danglers in deep on the house. Expediter was looking over towards the porch through the bushes, but he's not going to see Sinkas because Sinkas is laying down in the front yard. Sinkas should be able to see see Nintendo, I would think. Or no, Nintendo's outside. They see Stumpy inside with the shield.
Wood's fine. Expediter rotating around towards APC. Smoils picks up an Executioner on the east. He tried to wrap back around. The shield goes down from Syncos in his prone position outside. Ball to Rivalman. Nintendo Killinger gets picked up. Or a pickoff, rather, now.
Falling apart very fast. Center being completely reinforced. Things just not going well for Danglers in this offensive round.
Wow, Nintendo just missed Woods. He finally does catch him. Now it's a 1v3.
Killed one of your friends. One of your friends is dead.
Still one on the fucking bottom floor. Fucking serious.
Syncus not too happy about Nintendo getting that pick downstairs.
I think that's Killinger is yelling.
Yeah, I would just start moving up now. They're not watching.
Oh, has a dry mag. I think he actually tried to bait out some information there.
Very popular. Nintendo is a very methodical player, even if he plays it fast. He has a good adaptation ability to him, and that's what ends up putting him in a lot of these clutch situations when played. Did Dr. Killinger hear those footsteps, though, as Nintendo rotated around?
Minute 45, Nintendo's slowly running out of time to work with. Shield there propped up, just beckoning him to grab it.
And he does. On his back. Here we go. Getting that all ever so helpful loot. Nice. Ooh.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a pickle now. If they decide to push down the stairs, it's going to be trouble. He is down the stairs. He's going to come up behind him. Catches him out. Almost misses the shots.
Wow, I'm surprised that Nintendo actually got anything on that trade. That was actually pretty impressive, but beginners do it. They take Danglers down. It's now 3-3, and it is map point all with Danglers on the defense.
They're going to that bulk advantage. It is going to be a tank objective, though, which is not an easy one to really hold on to. It's pretty vulnerable to some different angles of approach. See how beginners handle it. This is for the map, but like we said, they've already won the series, so I'm not sure how much that matters to them. Danglers do want it, though, so see what happens in this final round.
I think it's fair to say everyone wants it here.
Yeah, probably. Mamma mia, and I think we do have Viper in here, so that means that that other series has been completed. If you are coming in for Master League 2, welcome. I do appreciate. We all preach.
We preach.
If you haven't already also, and you are following Master League 1, go follow Onward Master League 2 on Twitch, because games are cast over there from time to time if we have overlapping series during a day or something like that, or if we're doing a tournament. Want to put that one on your following list.
Yeah, on tournament days, actually, sometimes we can even have 3. Isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen?
It's wet and wild.
3 channels.
It's wet and wild, that's for sure.
Okay, Danglers here on the defense for the map point. They should be able to hold this out, but not like that. Sync is going to get a quick pick on Executioner, but he's still safe. Still able to get res. Nintendo getting rough and tumble with Killinger in the center. Danglers are overly aggressive on this push. It's gonna cost him. Executioner gets taken out by a nice frag. Sinkus.
Man, Sinkus is really moving.
Yeah, he is.
It's fun to see beginners actually play fast. I think they're not too bad at it. Attempted frag from Stumpy would have caught potentially 2 out, but it doesn't
On
land.
west side of the center house.
Expediter throwing frags into the playground.
One coming out
No
from
effect
Woods.
on
Not far enough.
Ooh, Stumpy. Lucky that that fell. Oh, that actually fell in between the
Bush.
the bush and the sandbags.
I think Killinger's going to try and answer back with another frag. That one might do it. Does indeed. Smoils holding that angle for Rybo. Nintendo coming over, gets the res off. Now there's 2 of them stuck there.
Oh, frag is out from Nintendo. He should catch Killinger. And Woods!
Smoils
comes up. Something pops up. Doesn't see Smoils for some reason. Was there a flash that had just gone off?
No, I think Smoils just crashed through that smoke, but that was a fantastic nade picking up Killinger and Woods. The reses should come out from Smoils, though.
Oh, and that's unfortunate because that would have made this a lot more of a fair fight. Now it's just Danglers with 2 holding off all 5 beginners. This is not going to be good. Uh-oh, got some team fire in. I think Smoils accidentally fired on Sinkus as he passed back around. Killinger gets up Woods 43, and it's now 5 beginners on 2 Danglers. This is not looking good for the Danglers defense.
No, it is not at all. Beginners are really pouring the pressure on. Woods prone, pushing up. If he can manage to get behind Tank, it's going to spell trouble for Ryboman inside that 2-story. He's going to need to pick off Expediter first.
It's interesting though, we're not seeing the beginners crash in on the man in center house. I feel like that's something that they should do, so they should, while they have the numbers advantage, to be able to take down that oversight on the crossover. Expediter here looking left though when he should be looking right. Zinka's gonna pop out here any second on him, I think, and really do some damage.
Kind of keeping an eye over on the Expediter Icy Woods situation here. Not sure what Woods is looking for, but he's have to go around those sandbags if he wants any chance of getting over to that objective.
I think he just really likes this pattern on that particular burlap sack. Woods 43 giving out a little bit of his own positional information. Woods 43 now unlooking at burlap bags. Expediter getting fired. Sinkus picked off by Icy Woods, I should say.
That's information for Woods, though. I don't think he knew Expediter was behind the tank per se.
Expediter also calling in, I think, 4 dead. That is not accurate. It is 4 alive, my friend, because the 2 that were killed by Nintendo's frag just did not get picked up on the double taps. So Smoils smoking out. He's next to Rybo. Rybo's now aware someone's near him. Will he see Smoils? I don't think so. He's best to just play it smart here and stay tucked under that window. Smokes and frags. Smoke's coming out everywhere on the tank. Both the Woods brothers are in position to make a push here. Killinger coming in from the middle house. This is going to get interesting really fast.
Little trade.
Rybo gets Killinger killed. Expediter is now on his own. Rybo can do nothing but call out information.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for Danglers. He's gonna have to deny this cap, get himself 2 picks.
He doesn't hear it. He sees nothing. Icy Woods already got the tablet out. He's moving in. He's gonna secure this one with an uplink. Expediter, you gotta check the tank. He does at the last minute. Oh, and then Woods 43 takes him out. And beginners take the last map and the series 3-0.
A very definitive win there from the OC5 contestants defending, I don't know, OC5 attendees?
Yes, attendees. Contestants, if you will, even.
Contestants.
Contenders.
Yeah, and that will be the series. A really bit of a barn burner, if I had to say so myself. Beginners pretty much scraping their way through that to get the 3-0 win, but they do get it.
Yeah, they do, and that's tough breaks for Danglers. They had a nice comeback there going on Superbia to at least take 1 map. But I think the over-aggressiveness on defense really caught Danglers in a disadvantage a lot of times on those Suburbia rounds. They'd lose 1 and or 2 really quick. A couple of their downs wouldn't be double tapped. So, you know, always something to live and learn from, right? Live and learn from the mistakes. Live and learn from that 4-person grenade from beginners on Q1. That'll be a lesson about spacing. But yeah, overall, great match. I think it was a good one to catch. And, you know, got more coming at you later this afternoon. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we do. Thank you for stopping in. I think that will be it from us for now. Sleepy, thanks for joining me on the CoCast, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure to join you, my friend.
Thanks for tuning in. If you did stop by, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Come back later today for more action on the Master League 1 channel. That's it from us tonight, everybody. Have a good one. We're out. Peace.
See you, everybody.